Hi, Facebook. Welcome back to our Every Tuesdays Let Your Story Drive You series. Today I am here with an MMA grad, Miss Taryn Mychal. So thanks so much for being here, Taryn.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm really excited to interview Taryn today and talk with her about her career, her experience at the academy, maybe some fun things in between. I don't know. I might get random today. I'm kind of feeling it. So thank you all for joining. Devon says hi, Taryn. Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you again. I'm first going to start, of course, with the number one question of Let Your Story Drive You, which is, what is it, Taryn? Well, you know what? Let's back up. Let me first actually ask you before that one, tell me a little bit about who Taryn was prior to MMA.
Prior to MMA, I feel like I was a person who was just full of creativity and talent and just kind of stuck. I didn't know what to do, where to start, how to use everything that I had. So I just had like on and off jobs, try to keep the lights on, etc. And one day, I just decided I was tired of it. And it was shortly after I did a television show I was on where I was first introduced to an actual pro artist team.
Okay. And what show were you on again?
The Glee Project on Oxygen Channel, and I was on the second season.
Okay.
It was the first time I had ever had a piece of makeup on my face. First time I took a plane. First time I've ever done anything, been out of the state.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And we were out on set, and they just started laying everything out. And mixing and doing makeup on me, and I just was so entranced by the way the setup of the kits were and how professional and talented they were. And I'm like, well, I know I'm here because of singing, and I'm really good at that. I'm like, but I've been drawing since I was little. What is this? What is this kind of job that they're doing? How do you get this job? And from there, like, I would go when we were off set or had some downtime and practice like bottom eyeliner or putting my foundation on so it's not splotchy on camera. And when we were done filming and I was back home, I just could not get it out of my head. And that's who I was. I just started practicing, looking up old makeup books on YouTube when people started really getting big doing it. And then I had a bad day at work one day doing a food service job. I came home. I was teary-eyed and just frustrated, and I started looking up makeup schools specifically that teaches makeup because I have plenty of estheticians in my family. And I noticed that one thing they didn't have is the artistry. And I stumbled upon Multimedia Makeup Academy, and the first thing I did was call. You were the one that picked up.
I was.
And I
Old
came,
faithful over here.
Yes. And I came to the open house, and literally I think like a week or two later, I picked up a second job, and I came and put it into action to go to this school. So I was just kind of stuck before.
Yeah. I think I love, and thank you for answering on the spot, but I love asking that question because you know, everyone has a story, right, that gets them to the place where it becomes like a game changer, like a life-changing moment. And I do remember talking to you, meeting with you. I love that I can remember that and thinking like, wow, this is a really creatively talented girl. You know, she would be perfect for this industry. And it's just exciting that it's come around like this full circle. So
yes, I love it.
Yeah, I love that too, that you gave a little bit of background on, you know, what exposed you to makeup by being on the show. You know, a lot of people actually fall into that, fall into makeup rather when they're in production. You know, when they're behind the scenes or in front of the camera, you know, doing acting or singing or whatever it is. So that's interesting how a lot of people start there and then find out like, oh, what are these artists doing? You know,
because I've never seen it before. I'm like, I've never seen anybody do makeup like that or have such a massively beautiful, organized kit and just get to it. I just had never seen it in my life, so.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Cool.
And hence why you're comfortable on camera, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's giving you love here, Christina and Jen. We'll talk about that. Jen, shh, don't give away the secret yet. We're going to talk about that. So anyway, okay, now back to the question of what is it that really, well, you kind of explained it. What drove you to become a makeup artist? I mean, it was that. You were that feeling of being stuck and being exposed to makeup. You know, is there anything else you want to add to that?
I just knew that I had a different purpose. Like, from the time I was a child, I never wanted to be anything traditional. Not that anything's wrong with it. I have a lot of successful friends who are in traditional jobs. They're happy to travel. And I looked at myself and I'm like, I could be doing those things. But here's my issue. I keep trying to do what everybody else is doing, just to say that I'm doing something. I went to Wayne State University for a year, did great, and I hated it because I said, I'm just here so that I don't feel to myself like a bum. And that's what made me realize I'm creative. What can I do? How can I put myself in my dream life without following behind everybody else? I am not a doctor and don't aspire to be, so why am I going to school to do these kind of things? And school is important. I said it's got to be a school out there for somebody like me. I've always been singing. I read music. I write music. I don't want to be a music teacher, so that's the only thing it could really offer me at Wayne State.
Right.
So that's what really drove me to look it up. I'm like, it's got to be some kind of schooling for what I want to do.
And that's drive right there. When you have a problem, right? That's a problem. When you feel stuck and you feel like I'm not going to fit into any kind of traditional job, right, or career, and you find a solution. I mean, that's actually what we do essentially every day as makeup artists, is help other people solve their problems, and you have to have that kind of in your bones to go after something, solve a problem that maybe you didn't know there was an answer to that. So, you sought that out, which is great.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of people lack that. They just get stuck and then say, oh, okay, let me just stick with status quo, and lack the drive, mind you, to find a solution for something more. So, awesome. Okay, so my next question, and thank you all for joining. If you're here, comment, let us know you're alive and kicking and watching us. If you have questions for Taryn, I'm sure she'd be happy to answer them too. So, Taryn, tell me, who is it that inspires you most?
I would have to say, and it's so corny, but it's true, the person that inspired me the most is my mother.
I love that.
And there's a million reasons why. My mother has literally never had it easy. My mother is not an excuse maker. My mother can turn a half of a penny into $1,000 in an hour. My mom has always been the person that let me know it was okay to be a little bit behind. Like, I used to feel like I was always behind everybody, or God, how can I get here? Man, they have this and I'm still doing this. And my mother let me know, like, you're different. You have this talent, they have that talent. Doesn't make anybody better than the next person, but if you want something, you have to know that can't be in your vocabulary. Even till this day, I'm almost 28, my mother still gets upset. Like, there's no can't. You just do it. You have to figure it out. And I have watched my mother turn everything into something successful. Like, my mother's mother has passed away from cancer. She's lost both of her parents, including her stepfather, and she had to quit her job. She has been in the workforce for many years in the hospital, and she didn't like her job much either, but she still had to provide. My mother had to quit her job to take care of my grandmother as she was passing away, and once she was gone, it was like having to start over, realizing you didn't have any money, and the money you exhausted was to help your mother in her transition. And she would save pop cans, literally save pop cans, and take them and make money. And next thing you know, she took all that pop can money and everything, and her drive, and she reopened my grandmother's private daycare.
Wow, that's what I was going to ask you, because I knew your mom owned a daycare, and I was going to say, did that, Christina's saying something to you. It's great to watch your continued growth, both as an artist and a person. We're so proud of you.
Thanks, Christina.
That's a great compliment.
Thank you.
But yes, I thought, I was going to ask you, did your mom in those moments, is that when she started her business, when she left her job? And you just answered that.
She did, and she did it off of not much. She got the classes, she got the paperwork done, she passed every single test. She still does. She's been at it for 3 years now. So, Mom, if you're watching, you're my inspiration, and she is her own boss. And
that's
she's
awesome.
Highly recommended. She has the daycare in Toledo, and people love bringing their kids to her. She's really good with it. So
that's great. So you get the entrepreneurial spirit from your mom, and I love the idea of can't be in your vocabulary. I've always said it's not about trying. People always say, I'm trying to do better, I'm trying to do what I want to do, or I'm trying to achieve the goals that I have. There's no trying. That's a state of constantly being in limbo. There's just do. So I love that. Okay, Mom, shout out to you. So my next question for you, Taryn, is what at MMA did you learn that was like monumentally valuable, like that you'll never forget?
There are so many things. One, artistry thing that I will never forget. That was like, I knew the school was like seriously talented, is when Christina turned Shauna into Angela Bassett just with the foundations and mapping the face, and she looked just like her. I'm like, that is a whole nother level of special effects. So just imagine what she can do with like prosthetics and things like that. Like every teacher here is literally crafted. They're not just picking up students, people that have just been doing their own makeup or maybe doing makeup for a year. These people are really good at what they do, and they can translate to you. It's one thing to be able to do makeup. It's another thing to be able to teach makeup. And that's one valuable thing I learned here is true artistry. And the next big thing was just you guys. You, Devon, have been like my mentors and my inspiration at the school for the longest, and you guys showed me how to run a business, how to conduct yourself, even if you're not some huge entity, how to run your small business, how to run your life. And there was something really valuable that I didn't, outside from my household, I never got anywhere else. Nobody taught me how to be my own boss, do my own thing. I'm the person that controls how my day, how my business goes with someone, or just anything. Even if I'm having a bad day, you guys showed me you can control it by treating everything like it's a business and planning it out. And it was just so valuable. And I literally, to this day, I'm not the same person I was when I walked in here, stressed out, going crazy every time something happened, falling apart, or like you said, I was that girl. I'm trying. Now it's just, I'm going to do it. Everything's planned out. Like I'm just not the same person. Yeah, everything I do now, I make it my point and I write it down, like you said, and I know this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm not afraid to say no anymore. So, and I'm also not afraid to say yes to things that I really want.
That's awesome. Look at you, Taryn. You're hitting some good one-liners.
Yes.
Not afraid to say no and not afraid to say yes. I think that's so powerful. And that really, I mean, I'm like getting the chills because I have watched you transform into another person and an amazing artist and business person. And it's just been incredible to watch. Like that is inspiring, and hopefully that is empowering to all of you watching. You know, hearing someone like Taryn's story and where she was to where she is now is just amazing. I'm very proud of you. But all right, I won't get all sentimental. So I want to ask you one kind of, well, I have two other questions. One question is, for someone that is looking to start a career in makeup, what would you say to them as like one piece of advice?
My biggest piece of advice, especially knowing how I went to it, is figure out what kind of artist you want to be.
Okay.
That is the first thing that I would focus on, because there's so many different kinds of artistry in the business. You have to figure out which one you fit in. Doesn't mean you have to do only one, but start off somewhere so that you can focus on that direction. I've literally done everything, like the freelancing, the department stores, the standalones, anything you can think of. You need to figure out what kind of artist you want to be, and then it will help guide you to building your business. If you don't have a plan of what you're going to do, it's going to be even harder.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Oh, Amy's saying, amazing, so empowering. I know, I felt like that empowerment. You always look amazing, Taryn. Taryn is gorgeous, isn't she? Devon said, very proud of you, Taryn.
Thanks, Devon.
You're getting lots of love. So, and thank you guys for joining. If you have other comments, let us know. But I think that's a great piece of advice. You know, choose something. That was actually a piece of advice that I received when beginning my career, and it was pick something, Brandy, pick something. So if you pick a place to start, then you can appropriately plan your goals on where you're going to be next.
Yeah.
So what is next for Taryn? I know that you just got a new position, and your career is moving in another direction and moving up. So what is that?
So I had just got hired for Tarte Cosmetics directly for the brand. So I will be one of their sales and education Tartists, which I think is so cute.
That's adorable.
Their brand is so amazing. If you haven't tried anything, you should. It is cruelty-free, paraben-free, allergy tested. It's so versatile. What I love is that there's a foundation color for everybody. And I just think what they stand for is amazing. And I think the biggest part of it is it's me being able to move around. Me being able to educate, travel a little more, and I will have more time to focus on things like building my brand. And doing more things with MMA. And I'm just really excited about that, because for so long I had the makeup job, but I didn't have the freedom.
Right.
to be able to do other things that I wanted to do with artistry. So I think that this is going to be a really good move for me. It wasn't something that I applied for. It was something that put in my hard work into the counters. I know counters aren't always the ideal job for a lot of people because it's more retail than it is artistry. But me working my butt off at those counters, it actually brought the recommendation my way because those
Brought
jobs,
the work your way.
yeah, those jobs. And so actually a few girls that went to the school that are like regionals and managers of those one brands, but it brought it to me. And those jobs, people don't quit those jobs because they love them. So I was shocked and honored that I was asked about the position. So
that is amazing. Jen said, love Tarte, such a great brand. Yeah, they take people to like Bora Bora and all kinds of things, which is exciting.
Awesome.
But I think Taryn is, she is a little modest in her representation of herself, which is great. It's good to be humble. But I'll brag for her a little bit because Taryn really, she literally became manager at several different counters at Chanel, Clinique, and brought them out of the gutter with her sales and really just educating people and sharing her love for makeup. So she was scouted by Tarte and has been scouted by several different companies to work for them, and that's why she is where she is now. So I hope that inspires those of you that are watching and all of you that will watch later. Thank you so much, Taryn.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me. It's been great. Oh, AJ says, get it, girl.
Yes,
so proud
girl.
of your success.
Thank you. That's my girl. We are so close. It's like we could not talk for months, and when we meet, it's like we never, ever, ever disconnected. Like
That's
we
great.
picked right off where we left off.
And you two were in class together.
Yes.
You started out together. That's great. So
Team
AJ,
struggle. We used to call it Team Struggle Bus.
oh gosh, struggle bus to top of the charts.
Yes.
So I'm really proud of Taryn. We're proud of you at MMA. Thank you all for joining us
Thank
live.
you.
We will see you soon for another episode of Let Your Story Drive You. Bye for now.
Bye.